What's up guys, Saulius, I'm back again. I'm back. Next will be we're going to react to videos about was GTA Online updates and DLCs as ever. 2013 minus 2024. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons. Sometimes best update, sometimes worst update, and yeah, he call them absolute trash. Absolute trash. So only 9 minutes, so let's watch the video.
GTA Online cycle is probably going to end before GTA 6, or I should say reboot. But before that, let's look into some absolute trash updates we saw in its lifetime. Starting with Mercenaries update. First off, let's talk content. Rockstar promised this massive mercenary-themed update that was supposed to revolutionize the gameplay experience, but what we got was basically a glorified reskin with minimal actual substance. The new missions felt repetitive almost immediately, which is impressive considering how quickly players got bored. The mercenary concept had so much potential. Imagine complex mission structures, interesting narrative arcs, unique gameplay mechanics. But instead, we got what felt like copy-paste missions that could have been generated by an AI with a mild hangover. The economic model of this update was equally frustrating. New vehicles and equipment were priced so ridiculously high that even players who've been grinding GTA Online for years found themselves scratching their heads. We're talking about astronomical prices that made the infamous shark cards look almost reasonable.
And yeah, unfortunately, we know this one vehicles old price. Unfortunately, got remote Toyota does not available. It still sucks. Why if you did not play GTA Online 2013 start game? If you did not, you will get so dumb. In bad years, you cannot go back a old vehicles price. But unfortunately, he removed old vehicles. You cannot do that. It still sucks. Why reason he removed? I don't like it. I know, man.
The grind became so intense that what should have been an exciting new gameplay experience turned into a second unpaid job. Technical issues compounded the problem. Server instability, random disconnects, and bugs that made certain missions practically unplayable became the norm rather than the exception.
Oh, come on, man.
Became the norm rather than the exception. Players reported countless instances where missions would simply break midway, causing them to lose progress and, more importantly, their precious time. For a game that's been around as long as GTA Online, these kinds of technical hiccups feel inexcusable. But the most disappointing aspect was how the update failed to address long-standing community requests. Players have been vocal about wanting more meaningful content, better mission variety, and improvements to core gameplay mechanics. Instead, the Mercenaries update felt like Rockstar was just going through the motions, delivering content that seemed more like a corporate checkbox than a genuine attempt to enhance player experience. In the end, the San Andreas Mercenaries update stands as a perfect example of how not to do a major game update. It promised the world and delivered a post-it note. For a game with such a massive player base and potential, it was a genuinely frustrating experience that left many wondering if Rockstar has lost touch with what makes GTA Online fun. Next, Beach Bum Update was literally the most mid-thing Rockstar has ever dropped in GTA Online. Let's rewind and break down this absolute disaster of an update that had the entire gaming community collectively sighing and rolling their eyes. When Rockstar announced the Beach Bum Update, players were hyped. We're talking full-on summer vibes, expecting some absolutely fire content that would make Los Santos feel like the ultimate beach party. Instead, we got served a lukewarm disappointment sandwich that was about as exciting as watching paint dry on a rusty lifeguard tower. The vehicles were so tragically designed that they looked like they were created by someone who'd only seen beaches through a blurry Instagram filter. Imagine dropping an update with beach vehicles that made your character look like they'd accidentally wandered into a yard sale for retired surfers. The quad bikes looked like they'd break down faster than a TikTok trend. The beach-themed cars, so uninspired that they made mall parking lot golf carts look cool. It was like Rockstar's design team had a collective creative breakdown and just decided to phone it in. The missions were another whole disaster. We're talking about content so repetitive that it made watching grass grow seem like an extreme sport. Each mission felt like a copy-paste job that was thrown together during a 5-minute coffee break. The objective? Basically run around doing the most mind-numbing tasks imaginable. Collect some random beach items, drive from point A to point B, rinse and repeat. It was so boring that players would literally alt-tab out and start scrolling through memes mid-mission. And honestly, who could blame them? Rockstar seemed more interested in emptying players' wallets than actually creating enjoyable content. The grind to unlock new items was so insane that you'd need to basically treat GTA Online like a full-time job. We're talking about spending more hours grinding than most people spend at their actual 9 to 5. The prices were so ridiculous that players started joking it would be cheaper to actually fly to a real beach than unlock these in-game items. Glitches were everywhere. Clothes clipping through characters, vehicles spawning in the most ridiculous locations, random disconnects that would make you lose hours of progress. It was like the update was coded by a group of interns on their first caffeine-fueled all-nighter. Players experienced more bugs than a tropical rainforest, and Rockstar's response was basically a digital shrug. The community's reaction was brutal. Social media was absolutely roasting Rockstar harder than the sun burns pale gamers. Memes flooded every gaming forum. Players had been begging for meaningful content, innovative missions, and genuine gameplay improvements. Instead, we got what felt like a half-hearted attempt to fill some corporate content calendar. A digital participation trophy that nobody asked for and nobody wanted. When Rockstar announced the Independence Day update, players were low-key hoping for some epic patriotic chaos that would make Los Santos feel like the ultimate 4th of July party. Instead, we got served a lukewarm plate of disappointment garnished with the most mid-content imaginable. This update was so underwhelming that it made government bureaucracy look exciting. And that's saying something. Let's start with the vehicles. Because holy wow, they were a whole mood of disappointment. The so-called patriotic rides looked like they were designed by someone who'd only heard about American culture through a game of broken telephone. We're talking about muscle cars and trucks that looked like they'd been photoshopped together by an AI having an existential crisis. The paint jobs? More basic than a pumpkin spice latte. Red, white, and blue slapped on with all the creativity of a middle school art project. Players were expecting something that would make their virtual garage look fire, but instead got cars that looked like they'd been rejected from a discount used car lot. Missions were another level of tragic. Imagine expecting some epic, explosive gameplay that captures the spirit of independence, and instead, getting tasks so repetitive that watching grass grow would be more entertaining. Each mission felt like it was generated by an algorithm that was simultaneously bored and confused. Collect some flags, drive through checkpoints, shoot some generic enemies, rinse and repeat until your soul leaves your body. The objectives were so mind-numbingly basic that players started creating their own fun by finding creative ways to break the missions. Also, the prices for new items were so astronomical that players started joking it would be cheaper to just buy real fireworks and set them off in their backyard. The grind was so intense that completing these missions felt less like a celebration of independence and more like a soul-crushing corporate exercise. Technical issues were the absolute cherry on top of this disaster Sunday. Glitches were everywhere. Characters teleporting randomly, vehicles spawning inside other vehicles, random server crashes that would make you lose hours of progress. It was like the update was coded by a group of interns who'd been surviving on nothing but energy drinks and memes. The bugs were so wild that the community started treating each glitch like a weird form of entertainment. Next, Summer Special. The special in Los Santos. Summer Special was about as special as a participation trophy at a kindergarten field day. The missions were so repetitive that players started timing how long it would take before they'd lose their will to live. We're talking about gameplay so bland that you could practically hear the collective sigh of the GTA Online community. Each mission felt like it was designed by an algorithm that was simultaneously bored and confused, churning out the most generic tasks imaginable. The new activities? More disappointing than a diet soda at a summer barbecue. Rockstar promised this epic summer experience, but delivered something that felt more like a corporate team building exercise gone wrong. Players were expecting innovative, fun content that would make Los Santos feel alive. Instead, We got activities so boring that alt-tabbing became the most exciting part of the experience. Monetize.
And also one more thing, where's a music background, but unfortunately he ends music background. Maybe he was so tired to use music background, or he did not add the same music background. Maybe he's so tired. I don't know why he was unfinished video. Ugh.
Monetization was another whole circus. The grind was so intense that completing these missions felt less like a fun gaming experience and more like a second unpaid job. Rockstar seemed more interested in emptying players' wallets than actually creating enjoyable content. Rockstar had absolutely no clue what they were making. It was just another cash grab. I mean, at least live up to the name of special, but I guess that was too much asking. Now that's enough for the video. Let me know in the comments which GTA Online update you personally hated, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and have a nice day.
So
Oh, come
Marvel's
on!
Spider-Man 2.
So yeah, we know this one about how GTA Online sometimes best update or to worst update due to reason fans did not like it. It still suck. And yeah, we know this one. And also sucks too was what about old vehicles? Can you pay over this one old price? Well, you can't do that because you promote old vehicles. This will be newest vehicles. It sucks due to too expensive and you cannot for this one. And yeah, do it is I would say new players and do it to imposter grind this cash. We know this one but will suck, man. And GTA Online he had more missions and yeah I was not expecting. So you now guys dude we're gonna end video. So I will say goodbye Saulius and see you tomorrow, okay? Ciao. Bye.